A skill is the learned or innate ability to act with determined results with good execution, often within a given amount of time, energy, or both. Skills can often be divided into domain general and domain-specific skills. Some examples of general skills include time management, teamwork, and leadership and self-motivation. In contrast, domain-specific skills would be used only for a certain job, e.g. operating a sandblaster. Skill usually requires certain environmental stimuli and situations to assess the level of skill being shown and used. A skill may be called an art when it represents a body of knowledge or branch of learning, as in the art of medicine or the art of war. Although the arts are also skills, there are many skills that form an art but have no connection to the fine arts. People need a broad range of skills to contribute to the modern economy. A joint ASTD and U.S. Department of Labor study showed that through technology, the workplace is changing, and identified 16 basic skills that employees must have to be able to change with it. 3 broad categories of skills are suggested: technical, human, and conceptual. The first 2 can be substituted with hard and soft skills, respectively. Hard skills, also called technical skills, are any skills relating to a specific task or situation. It involves both understanding and proficiency in such specific activity that involves methods, processes, procedures, or techniques. These skills are easily quantifiable, unlike soft skills, which are related to one's personality. These are also skills that can be or have been tested and may entail some professional, technical, or academic qualification. Holistic competencies is an umbrella term for different types of generic skills, example critical thinking, problem-solving skills, positive values and attitudes, example resilience, appreciation for others, which are essential for lifelong learning and whole person development. Skilled workers have long had historical import, see division of labor, as electricians, masons, carpenters, blacksmiths, bakers, brewers, coopers, printers and other occupations that are economically productive. Skilled workers were often politically active through their craft guilds. An ability and capacity acquired through deliberate, systematic, and sustained effort to smoothly and adaptively carry out complex activities or job functions involving ideas, cognitive skills, things, technical skills, and/or people, interpersonal skills. According to the Portland Business Journal, people skills are described as understanding ourselves and moderating our responses, talking effectively and empathizing accurately, building relationships of trust, respect, and productive interactions. A British definition is the ability to communicate effectively with people in a friendly way, especially in business. The term is already listed in major U.S. dictionaries. The term people skills is used to include both psychological skills and social skills but is less inclusive than life skills. Social skills are any skills facilitating interaction and communication with others. Social rules and relations are created, communicated, and changed in verbal and nonverbal ways. The process of learning such skills is called socialization. Soft skills are a combination of interpersonal people skills, social skills, communication skills, character traits, attitudes, career attributes and emotional intelligence quotient, EQ, among others. Development of a very high level of skill is often desirable for economic, social, or personal reasons. In his 2008 book Outliers, Canadian journalist Malcolm Gladwell proposed the 10,000-hour rule, that world-class skill could be developed by practicing for 10,000 hours. This principle was disputed by other commentators, pointing out feedback is necessary for improvement, and that practice is no guarantee of success. In his 2019 book Range, Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World, David Epstein argues that a period of sampling different activities, whether musical instruments, sports, or professions, can be helpful before choosing a specialization. Epstein argues that many tasks require a variety of skills which tend to be possessed by more well-rounded people, and finding a task which is a better fit to one's personality and interests can overcome the advantage otherwise provided by having more practice earlier in life and attempting peak performance as a younger person. Someone who has demonstrated a high level of knowledge or skill in multiple disciplines is known as a polymath, or in musical performance, a multi-instrumentalist. A long-standing question is to what extent skills can be learned versus the degree that innate talent is required for high-caliber performance. Epstein finds evidence for both sides with respect to high-performance sport in his 2013 book The Sports Gene. For thinking tasks, the heritability of IQ has been extensively studied to try to answer this question, though does not necessarily map directly onto skill level for any given thinking task. A study of professional and master tenpin bowlers found that average scores declined less than 10% from age 20 to age 70. This decline in a sport focusing on skill and technique is considerably smaller than that of events dominated by muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, or agility, which are known to decrease about 10% per decade. Hard skills are technical skills required for a job. They are learned abilities acquired and enhanced through education and experience. Hard skills are important for your resume, as employers look for them when hiring. Hard skills alone don't translate into success, as employees also need other skills, such as soft skills. Unlike soft skills, hard skills can be quantified. For example, a hard skill might be proficiency in a second language, while a soft skill could be the ability to work well on a team. Understanding hard skills. Hard skills are technical skills needed to perform a job or land a new one. They are typically industry-specific. For example, a financial analyst would need a different set of hard skills from a carpenter. However, hard skills can also be valuable across industries. For example, fluency in a second language could potentially benefit both the analyst and the carpenter. Employers and recruiters look for hard skills listed on your resume and during the interview process. It's best to back up your hard skills with a certificate, degree, or other qualification that shows a level of achievement. Experience is also seen as a qualification that validates expertise in hard skills. Some prospective employers test the hard skills of job candidates. Someone interviewing for an editing job, for example, might have to take an editing test. Hard skills focus on practical abilities and skills, whereas soft skills focus on behaviors and personalities, such as social and communication skills. Soft skills are less tangible and harder to teach. Employers typically look for a hybrid of hard and soft skills. Soft skills are more intrinsic to personality and difficult to judge quickly, but they may be as important on the job over time. Important. Hard and soft skills are critical for success at almost any job, and having both on your resume is essential when job hunting. Types of hard skills. The types of hard skills needed to be qualified and successful in a job depend on the industry. Employers typically list the hard skills required in job descriptions. Common hard skills: computer software knowledge, graphic design, data analysis, project management, marketing, copywriting, computer programming, foreign languages, search engine optimization, SEO. Top hard skills. According to LinkedIn, the top hard skills are customer service, sales, accounting, business development, marketing, digital marketing, sales management, finance, social media, sales and marketing, financial analysis, engineering, social media marketing, structured query language, SQL. Hard skills vs. soft skills. Hard skills generally have rules that remain the same regardless of the business, industry, or even culture in which they are practiced. The rules of soft skills can change depending on company culture and the expectations of colleagues. For example, the rules for how a programmer creates code are the same regardless of where the programmer works. However, a programmer may communicate effectively with other programmers about technical details but struggle when communicating with senior managers about a project's progress or support needs. Hard skills can be learned via education, training, or apprenticeships, and on the job. The levels of competency can be defined, and there is a direct path to achieving them. For example, in the field of accounting, you can take basic and advanced accounting courses, earn a degree, gain work experience, and pass the Certified Public Accountant (CPA) exam. Soft skills are not often found in the curriculum of a school or college. However, they are taught in programs that help people develop communication skills, teamwork, or people management skills. Some common soft skills include communication, teamwork, adaptability, problem solving, conflict resolution. Note: ask your employer if they offer or pay for any leadership training or team building programs for employees. If your employer wants you to improve one of your hard or soft skills, many companies will cover hard and soft skill programs for their employees. Example of hard skills. Accounting is a profession that requires a relatively rigid set of hard skills. Proficiency in the Microsoft Office suite, especially Excel, is a given. Familiarity with industry-specific software, such as tax preparation software and Intuit's QuickBooks, is also required. Accountants need to know how to prepare and interpret financial statements and other accounting reports, develop efficient financial reporting mechanisms, and plan and implement accounting controls. Some of the other skills that accountants need might be categorized as soft skills. They must be able to communicate effectively with clients and be diplomatic when dealing with external auditors. What are hard skills to include on a resume? If you are listing hard skills on a resume, include any technical skills you have acquired and any foreign languages. List hard skills relevant to the position for which you are applying. These are typically spelled out in job postings. How can I acquire hard skills? You can acquire hard skills by taking online or in-person classes at a university or other training program, practicing these skills before applying them to a job, and gaining experience by using the hard skills in the workplace. Is critical thinking a hard skill? No. Critical thinking is an important soft skill. You can study and practice critical thinking, but it cannot be learned in the same way you can teach yourself to use accounting software. Every job, from firefighting to being a marketing executive, calls for a specific skill set often made up of a combination of hard and soft skills. Whether you are considering a new job or applying for your first job, knowing which hard skills are needed, and obtaining those skills, means you will have a better chance of being hired or promoted in your field of choice. Some hard skills such as being proficient in using a computer, analyzing data, or understanding at least the basics of using social media will often be useful in many different jobs and careers. Many trades call for particular hard skills that are required for employment in construction, architecture, plumbing, and electric, and engineering. To get hired and be successful in the workplace, you'll need a combination of hard and soft skills, both of which you can continually build on and develop. Hard skills are objective, quantifiable skills gained through training, school, or work experiences. Not only can you learn hard skills, but you can easily prove them. For example, you either know how to write code or you don't. Certifications, degrees, and licenses can demonstrate to potential employers that you have certain hard skills. Hard skills are part of the skill set that is required for a job. They include the technical skills required to accomplish specific tasks, and the expertise necessary for an individual to successfully do a job. They are job-specific and are typically listed in job postings and job descriptions. Hard skills are acquired through formal education and training programs, including college, apprenticeships, short-term training classes, online courses, and certification programs, as well as on-the-job training. Hard skills include the specific knowledge and abilities required for success in a job. These types of skills are learned and can be defined, evaluated, and measured. LinkedIn reported on the hard skills that are in the greatest demand: basic coding, project management, Google Analytics, digital marketing, machine learning, cloud computing, blockchain, app development, artificial intelligence, SQL, structured query language. Some of the hard skills required for different occupations: accounting, administrative, analytics, auditing, automotive technology, banking operations, bookkeeping, budgeting, carpentry, construction, database management, design, editing, electrical, engineering, financial, hardware, healthcare, JavaScript, languages, legal, manufacturing technology, marketing research, mechanical, medical diagnosis, nursing, optimization, pharmaceutical coding, pipe fitting, Python programming, project management, proposal writing, reporting, science, software, social media marketing, spreadsheets, teaching, technical writing, testing, translation, transcription, word processing. Both hard skills and soft skills are important in the workplace, and the top skills employers look for will depend on what the employer is seeking for a particular position. The main difference between hard skills and soft skills is that hard skills can usually be taught in a series of concrete steps. From an instructor's or a manager's perspective, teaching someone how to code is a more easily defined process than teaching them to listen and communicate effectively with a client. Soft skills can't be learned by rote, and they involve emotional intelligence and empathy, which often makes them more complicated to impart to a student. The bottom line is that both hard and soft skills are important to career readiness. Once you have both, you'll be able to do your job well in the real world, where it's essential to know what you're talking about and be able to talk about it so that other people can understand. Focus on your most relevant skills. When job searching, it's important to include the skills the employer is seeking in your resume and job applications. The desired skills, both hard and soft, will be listed in the requirements section of job postings and help wanted ads. Highlight the skills that qualify you for the job. Start by highlighting the skills that are the closest match to the job requirements in your job application materials. Match your qualifications to the job. But while you need to match your qualifications to a job, there is more to it than just looking for keywords in the listing. It's also essential to go beyond the job posting.